get it.
All right. We are back in the
was
house.
like how Robyn dances around the truth. Like, ooh.
Yeah, right.
Like,
you can't see me, truth.
And no.
We are not on your side.
Hard knocks.
Right?
Yeah.
Right. Craziest. If you guys could be so kind, pop some ones in the chat. Let me know that you guys can hear us and see us. My YouTube is running a little funny, and I just want to make sure that we're not here talking to ourselves. So
like that one time that we did for like a full
like we ripping for 20 minutes, going hard too. Going hard.
We got a bunch of ones.
Okay. All right. I see. Thank you guys so much. Welcome to the show. We are here, Sarah, James. We're here to talk about some craziness. I told you guys yesterday, I did the after show. I was completely flabbergasted by what I saw on the screen as I was watching The Foolishness, which is now Sister Wives season 19. And I told you guys, I had plans to come out with videos. I had to step away from shooting the videos because the videos started getting too out of hand. And I know, speaking of Sarah, I said last night, I was like, I know Reality Squad's going to have something, so make sure you subscribe to both channels, ring the bell for notifications, because I'm telling you, we're going to be dropping some heavy videos this week. They coming. So,
oh my God.
You do not want to miss out.
I know. And I know, like, seeing your perspective, I was watching one of her videos today. Like, oh my God. Thoughts abound.
Right. Because the craziness is like, this is one of those, like, and I don't want to be a jerk at all. I really try to watch
I do. These
kill.
people, Robyn and Cody, have totally lost the plot. They are unredeemable, James. So go off all the way off.
Right, off the head, off the chain. He's off the chain, dog, James. I should have uploaded that.
They deserve to. They honestly deserve to be bankrupted. The only thing is, like, I don't wish like being homeless on anybody, but like these two deserve to be taken to the cleaners. They are liars and manipulators, and they're just not good humans.
And I said this last night, and I stand on this. Like, up until this point, Robyn, I won't say that they had redeemable qualities, but at least you could arguably say that some of the things might have some like obscurity. They have completed their villain arc. And this episode, for me, was the completion of the villain arc. Like, this is that point where they became Darth Vader or whoever comic book character you grew up with. That's who they are. Because of the stuff they were saying. Like, who comes out of their mouth and says half that stuff? No one full well.
The total side like storyline this episode with like Cody and Mary, and just the awful. I was so distracted by just the nonsense about finances, because finally we're talking about finances. That like I think I was telling you, I think I watched the episode like 2.5, 3 times, and like the stuff Cody said about Mary was so fucking mean and like mean-spirited and cruel, and just came from like, you have to consider the fact that like, whatever, this footage was filmed in late 2022. He had like a full year to sit on these feelings and think about what he would say, compose himself, and to say what he was going to say in these couch confessionals. And this is the fucking bullshit he says.
Right. Of everything that you could say. You know what I mean? And there is a point where, okay, Cody, with your other 2 wives, I understand you took a L because Christine left, you wasn't ready for her to go. Janelle left, you certainly weren't ready for her to go. But with Mary, you had already said that you were done with her, you were finished with her, you gave her the boot, boop, boop, and you kicked her out. Now, all of a sudden, you just get it on your haunches that, you know, while she's down, I'm going to go ahead and rub salt in the wounds. There's nothing like this. And this is where I'm saying, like, there's a point where you have to have a certain level of maturity to be involved with a relationship with another human being. And apparently he hasn't reached that level to where he can actually understand that this is not okay. This shit is not okay. Pardon my French. Like I've been trying to hold it back, y'all. If you've been checking out my last few videos, I've been trying to cut back.
I always
like
get some
caffeine,
comments like, Sarah, I love your videos, but really the language?
Right. Have you watched this
and I'm
show?
like, it's only getting worse for me. Like,
Have you watched this show? Like I said, like I don't know what form or brand of substances they got pumping out there in Arizona, but apparently Cody and Robyn are taking all of them. Like
delusion is in the water for sure.
It's so insane.
Whatever they're paying $600 a month to like bus up to them is like Delulu water.
Right. Apparently they drinking all of it, so it's worth it. You know what I mean? I you know, when I watch it, like we could go through the episode, but it's just just off the top, the whole episode for me, when they started talking about Coyote Pass and Janelle, like I said, she's in a very precarious situation with Coyote Pass, and she's still trying to hold on to the possibility that she's going to be able to salvage something from that investment. What were your thoughts? Because I'll give you an opportunity before I go nuts. What were your thoughts on this whole thing with Janelle? Especially like she's talking to her daughter and Maddie's reaction, which is classic. Maddie, you're my homegirl.
Oh my God. She is her faces spoke volume. No, like, duh. No wonder she doesn't talk to Cody anymore. She probably did one FaceTime with him, gave him and he was like, oh, that's it. I'm not talking to you anymore.
She's not falling for any of it. Like,
no,
because Maddie was having none of it.
Nope.
But what did you think?
Well, so if I'm Janelle, because Janelle is like maybe Mary less so because Mary wasn't tasked with like actually like being the family like accountant, but with Robyn sitting there claiming like, oh, how our finances are so, how do we figure this out?
Right.
Well, I know that we sold my Vegas house for X and I gave you X for your house. So I expect X back.
Right. Oh, and that's the thing that cracked me up. Like the whole idea of, I don't know how math works. like lady, your kids, you can pull Solomon in, Ariella. You can pull her in. Ari, sit down. We're going to take these two numbers and we're going to subtract them. That's how you figure out how much money you put in. Now, here's the secret to the sauce, Coach Cheese, in case you haven't figured it out. If you take one number and you subtract it from the other number and you come up with a big old zero because those two numbers are the same, and you say, how much did we owe versus how much did Janelle and Maddie give me? And you subtract those two numbers and you have a big old goose egg, then you haven't given jack shit. That's how you figure that out. Welcome to the tribe. Welcome to the club. Now you know that you haven't done anything that you're saying that you did. And for you to sit there and take credit for it, what in the entire hell is going on? And that's where I was at. Like, I was just like, what are you doing? You can't take credit for all of a sudden you put a budget together. Like, what are you talking about?
No. And oh my God, everyone in my household's asleep. I'm on my phone. I'm watching the episode because it comes on at freaking midnight, basically. Right. And I audibly gasped when she mentioned the artwork on the wall. I was like, oh.
Yeah, right. Yeah.
So I was like, Reddit has made its way onto the show.
Right. So somebody done figured it out.
Like, yeah.
You know,
I was so tickled.
Yeah, because she started. For those who may have not seen it or don't know exactly what we're talking about when Janelle and Maddie were sitting in the car and they were talking about the expenses, like, well, where'd the money come from and how much money is being spent and how come the land isn't getting paid off? Right. And Janelle had brought up, oh, we had enough money in the account, but as it turns out, Cody and Robyn have been spending money on other things. And these things are like different assets, what he's calling assets. I just call it crap he's buying. He's just buying a bunch of bullshit, throwing it in the house. So because the stuff he's buying aren't assets. Cars are not assets. They're depreciable items that you buy. They're actually liabilities.
Can I share a funny story?
Yeah, go ahead.
So we've like where we live, if we are getting rid of something that maybe someone will want, like a piece of furniture or something, we put it out on the curb, and literally 9 times out of 10, one man's trash is another man's treasure, right? Somebody will pick it up and have a use for it. So my dog used to prefer to sleep in a crate. She doesn't anymore, but that's what she liked to do. So I've had her crate, but it's like a plastic, really nice. It was expensive. It was like $150. This pink plastic crate. And I was like, sure. So I decided I'm finally going to get rid of it because we don't use it anymore. So I put it out on the curb. That thing has been sitting out there all for a week. It's been rained on. And I am like, I am astounded that nobody wants it. And my husband thinks it's the funniest thing because he thought it was a waste of money when I bought it. And now nobody wants it. Nobody thinks it's worth it. I was like, I want to write a note and put like, this was expensive. Like it's perfectly good. Not from a house filled with rats or anything. Like,
like you can take it. No bed bugs included.
I'm like, I don't know. Maybe they don't know what it is because it's not like a traditional looking dog crate, but like, I'm offended that nobody wants it.
You know what you do? If you really, if you really want to move something, put it on Facebook Marketplace.
Oh, that's a good idea.
If you put it on Facebook Marketplace, it won't even last to the afternoon. Somebody will be on there because there's somebody who's looking for something just like what you have, and that'll be the answer to all their problems. You might even be able to sell it on Facebook Marketplace.
Oh man, I'm like,
be told.
I'm like, should I tape my receipt to it so people know it's legit?
Read the whole credit card
that's
receipt.
What this reminds me of. It's like, Robyn, Cody, just because you spent a ton of money on something doesn't mean that your neighbor next door is going to think that is worth anything.
Right.
They are going to walk past it every single day for a week.
And what the hell is that?
I can't believe that lady bought that.
Right, exactly. And that's the whole thing. Like and this is where we were talking before about like when you invest in these types of items, you really have to know, like if you can't just dabble in the artwork, into the art world. You have to know which artist you're picking up, what differentiates this work from another work that even that same artist did. Is this his early years or her early years when they were real, on the edge? Or is this the years where they were real mainstream and contemporary? Was this the classic work? You have to understand that. You have to understand what's popular, what's selling, what's not. If it will sell, will this guy ever have that kind of opportunity? Half these guys, like their artwork doesn't become really valuable until after they passed away or something crazy happens with them. So you being in that world, you understand these things. Cody and Robyn ain't in that world. They just go places and probably said, oh, that's nice. Or somebody makes a suggestion to them and say, you know what you really need to do? Invest in art. And they just all of a sudden come in with these new ideas on how they're going to take over the art world. And I'm pretty sure that's how that rolled out. So
like I lived in New York for 5 years. What you're talking about with like the art scene and like all that, it's definitely like a culture. It's I am not of it. I don't know, but like people like to sink their money into art. They definitely like to park their money in art, but not this. This is not what this is like mid-tier. Like there are paintings that go for like millions of dollars.
Right.
What Cody and Robyn are buying is like right above like restoration hardware or something. Like I don't know, but like, and it's not even objectively. I mean, art is in the eye of the beholder, obviously, and they like it, and I guess other people like it too, but it's not my taste. But it's like the $5,000, $6,000 range. That's not even like a lot for people who are in the art scene. It's a lot for me. I would never buy that, but like,
Right, right. And that's kind of the thing too, is that when push comes down to shove, like you said, a lot of these are a lot of the big pieces will go for $1 million, $2 million.
Yeah.
So they're not spending that on
No,
those
they
pieces.
get like they buy them at auction and stuff.
Right.
Like, you know,
I
that's
can even
like
see them going on vacation, getting like on the cruise line. Like, we
yeah.
have these
Robyn
artwork.
ordered this online. Let's
Right.
get real. Because she never leaves her house. And anyone who's like into the art scene, they have like a broker going to Sotheby's or whatever
Right.
and picking up the latest whoever
Right.
and go.
And half the time, these people went to school for this. Like, this isn't just something they picked up on the weekend that they were deciding, should I collect, anteaters that have been put aside, or should I start going in art? These people go to school. And then, like you said, I can see Robyn getting this off of Amazon. So here she is with a house full of Amazon art talking about she got assets. Like, that's insane to me. That's insanity.
I know.
Queen budget. But it is what it is.
I'm living in a house full of dog crates. I'm like, I have assets. My husband's like, no, you don't.
Right.
You have junk, lady.
Right, exactly. You know what? And it's kind of one of them things where, and this is just where you have to be honest with yourself. There are things that, like, there's things that I have that are valuable to me. Like, because they're tied to some memory or tied to something I've done or been through or whatever, or somebody's giving to me. But if you take those same items, and to me, they're priceless, but you take those same items, and like I said, you go to a Facebook marketplace and put those items up, somebody offer you $20 for them. Like, what are you talking about? This is a vintage, blah, blah, blah. They were like, this is old junk.
Yeah.
I was going to give it to my dog to eat.
I was going to say, I was going to strip it for parts. And
I was going to take your thing and make something else with it. Like, so, like, you know what I mean? It's just, it's in that realm. So when they were sitting there having that conversation, both Maddie and Janelle, and they were talking about like, oh, well, the property and what are we going to do with the property? Madison, like, her, the whole time she's rolling her eyes because Janelle is explaining that they have this investment, this property that they're investing in, and Cody isn't calling her back, and he's not returning phone calls. And what did you think when Janelle had revealed that Cody wasn't calling her back, and it was revealed that they were actually holding Coyote Pass hostage? Because that's what it feels like to me. It feels like Cody's holding Coyote Pass hostage.
Oh, he 100% is. It's honestly like shocking but not surprising type of, that's how I'm feeling. He like I said, these are bad people with bad intentions, badly motivated, and everything is coming to the surface now and being exposed because Robyn is the only one covering for Cody anymore.
Right.
So like there's none of the OG3 are gonna lie for Cody, and now we see the mask is off.
Right. And this is, like I said, this is where it's starting to go to the evil arc, the true evil arc of where they are. Because one of the key things that I've said a while ago, especially when we talk about like polygamy marriage and this being a polygamy propaganda program, the PPP, when we talk about that, this is one of the reasons why I think that like legislation to legalize polygamy is so difficult, because of exactly the game that they're playing.
Yep.
You know what I mean? And like I said, you'll see it. Like, if you guys tune into my video that I'm gonna put out, one of the points that I'm going to hit hard as hell is just the fact that Janelle had the foresight and the wisdom to say, hey, let's start documenting some of this stuff. Let's put everybody's name on Robyn's house, since this is the family's property. And Cody's desire not to do that is part of the reason why if you're going to be in this type of relationship and you can't get the marriages done, they're not going to legalize it. So the best way for you to do it is for you to like codify your agreement in some form of contract or legally binding agreement while you guys are getting along and the family is all family. And because when you break up, Now all of a sudden everybody got freaking amnesia. Nobody can remember who did what. And I don't remember you giving me no money, Robyn. I don't know. In my mind, I had the money the whole time. Where'd you get it from?
Well,
Where'd you get it
and
from?
what is so I think I get I think it's a really fascinating argument around the whole legalization of polygamy. Obviously, like there is a interest in obviously not having like child marriage or abusing like public assistance or whatever, things like that. But if you're just looking at it at like protecting women, I think there is something there. And what is so frustrating to me, like if my husband and I had a religious ceremony. We had a Lutheran ceremony. If my husband decided he wasn't Lutheran anymore, well, sorry, bitch. Like, we're still legally married. You don't get to just say, I don't believe in that anymore. So, okay. Like, because now, like, Mary and Janelle and even Chrissy, it's like, nobody knows if they're broken up because nobody knows what the other person believes. And it's like, if you had a legal marriage, you would have to legally divorce me.
Right. And you couldn't, well, see, that not only could they not legal, they would have to legally divorce you, but legally they couldn't abandon you. And that's where Janelle is at. You know what I mean?
Exactly. And I get, because someone left me a comment, made really good points about why it should not be legalized. So I'm not here to say let's lead the charge or anything like that, but like in this specific instance, like where to have like legal recourse when you have a piece of shit husband like Cody, because you're banking on his good graces and he has none anymore. He might have had a smidge when Christine left, but all that good wish you well type of energy has gone. He has none of that.
Right. And that's the big problem, is that one of my major issues with regard to a lot of this is that it relies on how somebody feels about you and the turbulent and unpredictable wind of how somebody may feel about you. I might like you today, love you today, and hate you tomorrow. So if you are, and one of my big things is, if you're relying on somebody to give you rights, if they give you rights or privileges, then they can take those privileges away. And the way Cody is describing it is that in his marriage and the way even when he tries to clean up the whole polygamy question, because there was a point where he tries to clean up the polygamy question and statements that he made in previous episodes or previous seasons, where he says, you know, oh, that was just talk. I was just coming from an angry place and I didn't really mean that. No, you meant it, because in your mind, you were allowing the women to experience independence. But they themselves didn't have inherent independence as human beings involved in this relationship. So they weren't equal coming into the relationships. They were merely granted the ability to appear to be equal by your leisure and by your because you allow it.
Right.
And that's one of the big problems, I think, is here. And that's what we're seeing as he's talking about the division of this property. Is because to him, it's my property and I'm not giving you anything because I don't owe you anything. But it goes against math.
I know Robyn is trying to set this up like, oh, the way we've done finances is so convoluted, and it's really not, Robyn.
Right,
it's not really not. And you know, the maybe the dumbest thing Cody ever did was allow each of these women to have their own assets as far as a house in Las Vegas, because that's where I would go back to. I had my house. We sold my house. Where did the money from my house go?
Right.
And if it went into Robyn's house, then I want my money back.
Right. Simple as that. Simple as that. We got some super chats as well. Real quick. Tiffany H.
Thank
with the
you.
$5 super chat. Thank you so much. James, I would rather have a commissioned painting that is an original that is unique for me than spending money on reprints. I agree with that. And to be honest with you, reprints, although they can have some value, they will never be worth as much as any original work.
So and what Robyn and Cody are buying, it's like original from the artist, but it's not original. It's like original prints or something. I don't know.
Right.
It's like it's not what the artist like hand did himself.
Right.
So it's like again, I don't know anything about art, so to me, I'm like, oh, it's from the artist. Cool, it's $10,000. Cool, but like, I don't know. I have like a really cool painting of like a ship, like in my living room. It was $150 at Ashley's Furniture. That's the level of art that I'm collecting.
That's what you're working with,
and it's huge. It's like, yay big. By yay big. And so it was like, to me, that's what I'm willing to invest in art.
Right. Well, I mean, I bought a one piece, this is years ago, like for my first house. I bought a piece of artwork, and to be honest with you, I think the frame was probably most of the price.
So that somebody brought that up. They were like, Sarah, we're talking about the cost of all these prints, but the frames they have spent thousands in framing all of these prints, because framing is an entire industry unto itself.
Right. Well, because me and my daughter, actually my daughter and my son, we all were putting together these jigsaw puzzles, and so we have like a bunch of them, and I was going to buy frames so we can hang them up.
Yeah.
And when I went to look at the frame prices, I do some woodworking too, just as a hobby.
Oh, and that's cool.
Yeah, just I dabble. But
did you see Christine posted the on her Instagram of the dining table that Mitch made her?
No, I haven't seen it.
It is like a beautiful, huge shape. Like he's talented. He's a talented guy.
Okay, maybe I'll get with Mitch. Yeah. Well, he also did their he also put together the archway for one of the weddings.
Oh yeah.
So that's how I know he does some woodworking.
Yeah.
But I was saying, like, to be honest with you, as much as like framing costs, I was like, oh, I'll cut my own damn frames. I'll make my own, because by the time you get done, like between me buying the wood and taking the time to do it, it's way cheaper than even if I went out and just this is just jigsaw stuff, like puzzles. Like, again, important to me, but nobody is coming to my house like, I'll give you $10,000 for that Spider-Man puzzle. Like, you know what I mean?
I don't know. Robyn might. You might be able to sell it to Robyn.
I'll post it on Amazon. She gets some more Amazon art in the mail. But you know what I mean? So it's kind of there. But let me give Tiffany H. Oh, wow. My thing died out. But I'm going to give Tiffany H a big thank you for the super chat. Oops. Okay, here we go. We have some more. Another one. Bridget Oster, $10 super chat. Thank you for the weekly updates. You two are a great team. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Appreciate that. Let me give you a little something. See, trying to cut you short, Tiffany, but I'm not going to let it happen. And we have another one from Aunt Minnie, $4.99 super chat. I bet Janelle's attorney will love Cody saying on camera that he refuses to talk to her about Coyote Pass. Petulant child. Let me give you a quick something. I got something to say about that. Thank you guys for the super chats. Yes, and that is one of the first things that they tell you if you're involved in any litigation, whether it's a car accident, slip and fall, premises liability, whatever, product liability, anything. Especially criminal stuff. Your attorney will always tell you to shut the hell up. Stop talking. Don't say nothing else. Keep your mouth closed. Yeah. And this is exactly why. What Aunt Minnie said, this is exactly why an attorney will tell you to shut the hell up, because you will destroy your case. All you're doing is making a job harder. Like every time you talk, you're making a job harder. You add another 50 pages on whatever pleadings they're gonna have to put.
There is so much like evidence on this show now, and I just loved that Robyn said, like, we bought my house with the intention that it would be an asset for everyone.
Right. So technically, it's not my house.
And now
It's
it's
the
for
family's
sale.
house.
Now
Right.
you're going to be dividing by 5 or 4 or whatever.
Well, definitely. Yeah. Well, not even, maybe even 3, because Cody and Robyn would be 1, and Mary and Janelle would be the other 2. So good job, coaches. Good job. You substantiated their claims that they contributed a large amount of money, because yesterday was actually the first time that Robyn actually had ever admitted out of her mouth that anybody else contributed towards her house. Because she's always said, like, she was always very careful. This is why, like I said, she's completed her evil arc, because she doesn't give a damn anymore. Because she's always said that when they started talking about who gave what for whose house, she always said, Cody said that me and Robyn gave Christine money for her house. And then she said the family gave money to Christine for her house.
Right.
But she never mentions the house that she's living in.
Right.
And how she got her money and how she was able to put a deposit down on the house. So it just doesn't make sense. Oh, got one more from Kathy Mosley, $10 super chat. For Robyn being religious. She sure has insight about Victoria's Secrets. Lady in the streets, freak in the sheets.
That purple bedroom, man. Woo!
Right. Gotta pimp it out. How to treat your best customer and bordello bedroom. Seems more like Hookerville. LOL. So true. Let's give you a little something. Awesomeness. Yeah, I just look at a lot of this stuff, and I try to be fair, and I'm trying to be, even keeled about it, but they take it to a whole nother level because of the approach that they're using, especially in the effort that they're putting forward to try to rip the people that they supposedly care so much about off. You know what I mean? Like, to me, it's kind of, that's the part where it's a little bit repugnant that they're so aggressively doing it. Like, they're aggressively taking money.
Yeah.
Did you have anything? Oh yeah, of course, we got to see how Janelle and Maddie were going out, big ballers that they are. Maddie made reference, speaking about, just to close it out about Coyote Pass, Maddie made reference that she would be willing to come in and maybe invest in Coyote Pass, put some money on Coyote Pass, but she expects to get 4 acres out of the deal. And then she said she'll turn around and sell that off. So yeah, I'll come in and save the property, but I'm taking like a quarter of it and I'm going to sell it.
You know what I appreciated in that whole conversation is that Janelle's intention was to make Mary whole out of it too. And I thought that was for all the, and there's some serious bad blood between those two, to the point where they, at some point, they couldn't even drive in the same car together. But neither one of them wants to see the other one screwed over.
Right. And you know what? And what's fair, because even to echo that sentiment, there was a point early on where Mary had first introduced the idea of getting a divorce, and Robyn taking a legal marriage to Cody, where Janelle had said that about Mary. Like, I don't mind it if Mary is the first wife, because I know that deep down she's a fair person. Like, she'll be a fair arbiter as far as distributing what's left of Cody's estate to each one of the wives to make sure that we're taken care of. But she did have concerns about Robyn taking over the family, or taking over as the legal wife, or first, technically the first wife, because she's the legal wife. But she did have concerns about Robyn doing it. But the two of them have always maintained that. I think Janelle and Mary have always had that level of respect for one another. Even if they didn't like each other, they had the level of respect where they could mutually say that if something were to happen, I could trust this person to be fair. But ironically, I think both of them understand that they cannot trust Robyn to be fair.
Nope.
Nope. So I was happy about that.
Yeah.
Like, about time y'all started saying it. At least start saying it. Like, say it out loud for people in the back row. Oh, we got one more super chat. Let's see. Lost Sojourners, 499 super chat. Don't forget. Thank you so much. Don't forget Cody wanted half of Christine's home. Turn shines when she left. Yeah, right. Yeah.
Yeah, he expected the proceeds from selling her house to pay off Coyote Pass. That was the his original thought process. And Christine was like, nah.
Yeah.
Like, nah.
I'm not going to give you a part of my house. I paid all the mortgage payments on that house. Why would I give you half of it?
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, thank you. About time folks started recognizing the truth. Like, just say what it is. Don't you know, and this is also part of the dangers of the way that the family presented it early on too, which is where you would get in trouble with your attorney banging his head against the wall, because they made a lot of claims early on about how evenly everything is distributed and how they all work together, and they put it all in one big pot, and they work everything out with one another and all that. But it's really not that way. Like, because Cody just takes the money. What it comes down to is, I want to be very clear about something. Early on, they had always said that Robyn is like the one who's manipulating Cody and getting all this stuff from Cody. Let's be very honest. Cody is using Robyn to get everything that he wants. He wants to have a certain life and lifestyle, and he uses Robyn as the cutout to be able to do the things for himself. Because if you listen to him talk, he always says, like, even in this last episode, he tries to pretend like he has nothing to do with anything. Oh, he
got kicked out of his own club.
Yeah, Robyn, Christine, Mary, and Janelle, they all took care of their houses, and I just basically took care of the fleet of cars and paid the insurance. I didn't have nothing to do with nothing.
Like, first of all, I don't believe that for a second. He might have like procured cars for his kids, but I don't think for a second that he was paying car insurance for a dozen kids at a time. No way.
No. No. And it's just the fact that, like, if you're living in a house with Robyn, and that's the house, that's your prized possession, that house with Robyn, because his name, it's not just Robyn's house. His name is on that house. So it's Robyn and Cody's house. The things that he buys that are going in that house, that's Robyn and Cody's stuff. When he's looking at Coyote Pass, that's Robyn and Cody's land. So even though Robyn's name doesn't appear on 100% of that property, if Cody name appears on it, Robyn's name appears on it as well. Like, right. So and
Christine even made the point to say they paid their utilities together. So Cody wasn't even doing that with his other three households. Like, they were paying all their bills on their own, yet they were still funneling money into this communal bank account that was only funding Robyn and Cody.
Right. And that's and it's just, it's crazy as hell. It's crazy. Yeah. It's so crazy. It's so crazy.
I know.
No, go ahead.
Dude, it raises the blood pressure, you know?
Yeah.
I'm not on blood pressure medication anymore because I've lost weight.
I know I got about to turn my fan on because I'm getting hot in here thinking about it. But let me give some shout outs for some folks who just made some super chats. Brittany, what's going on? She was on last night. One of the
hi there.
Speakers. $4.99 super chat. Maddie's been sick of Robyn since she sniffed her jacket and said it smelled like Cody when Cody and Robyn were recording.
So creepy.
Yeah, for you to tell his daughter that is creepy as hell.
Yeah,
like, that might be something that you keep to yourself. Oh wow, this smells like, my loved one, my
yeah, like, oh, this smells like your dad who I'm about to marry.
Right. And the fact that she knows it smells like him, the sad part is that I don't care what they say. In my mind, he was going down there banging her ass out anyway, driving 5 hours. He was sleeping with her anyway. So when she says, "Oh, this smells like Cody," how do you know it smells like Cody?
Yeah. Well, Cody for sure uses Axe body spray. Like, let's get real.
He drowns.
So it probably reeks of Axe body spray.
Right? You sure it's Axe body spray, not like high kick karate or?
I don't know. I think Cody is a most bang for his buck kind of guy. So he's like, I need something that's like the most powerful smell that doesn't cost a lot of money. So like, if this can cover up like junior high boy musk, like we're good.
So you just need to get that all in one. Like you can
Yeah.
wash your body with it. You can wash your hair with the same stuff. It's
Yeah,
incredible.
I know.
Let me give a little something something. We have another one from thank you so much, Brittany Not Brittany. We got one from Steam Frog 99, $5 super chat. Cody is a firm believer in what's yours is mine and what's mine is also mine.
Yep.
Yeah, he even said that when he took his mom's sandwich. I'm still a little pissed off about that. That was the most disgusting shit I'd seen.
Oh
Yeah.
my gosh. If my kids ever did that to me,
Yeah,
I've never hit my kids. I'd be like,
all right, show it out. That's what my mom used to go. You out here showing out, trying to show off for people that you think you can get away with something, but all you're gonna do is get yourself embarrassed. Well, let's
all
give
you're
a little.
get yourself is embarrassed.
Yeah, that's all you
I
gonna
like that, James.
Welcome to the club. You know what I mean? You get to sit there and look sad. We're not going home either. He's just gonna sit there and look mad. But let me give a little something. And then we have one more from Lost Sojourners. Again, $4.99 super chat.
Thank you.
Home Furnishings, Kingsy, 1.5 of Christine's Kingsy, 1.5 of Christine's furnishings, and he was mad she sold stuff. All Arif is Cody's stuff. Oh, it's all Arif is Cody's.
Oh, he said I mistyped.
I mistyped. No, yeah, I got you. She's right. Because this is actually the scene in season 17 where Christine was looking in the garage and he's like, "What's this?" And she's like, "Oh, that's the bed." She said, "I'm gonna sell that." And he was standing there looking like he was ready to cry and shit. Like, of course I'm gonna sell the bed that we were screwing on. Like, what dude is going, like, she's going into her new life. What dude wants to sleep on the same bed that you were sleeping with your ex-husband on?
And first of all, you only ever bought these other households used furniture anyways. So like this is like twice upcycled furniture. Like Christine maybe wants, like, she's been on the show. Oh, you know what was so interesting is when Robyn said that they didn't stop, that Mary and Janelle didn't like take their hand out of the family pot until recently. And I think that is when all the adults got individual contracts with the show and they stopped getting paid as a family.
Right. And that's why Cody is pissed.
Yep.
Trying to beg her back. But let's give a Law something. Something. Thank you so much, Law. Appreciate you. Yeah. Thank you so much. So we had that craziness. Then of course we get to the point where everybody is getting together. There was Hunter was there at the big dinner. And of course you have my man Peyton. He was there talking about, he was so excited because he went to a bar one night. He had no idea what kind of bar this was. He gets to the bar and he meets a person. It's the owner of the bar. And then the owner of the bar, offers him a job. It turns out that the bar is actually a strip club. And he meets the owner. The owner offers him a job. And then Hunter starts ripping him about like possibly being a dancer. And he's like, "No, I'm gonna be a bouncer." And I said, it's kind of, and as soon as I heard that, I was laughing my ass off because one of the kids are working in the gentleman's club, strip club, down the Shaky Butt. But the whole thing that kind of tickled me was the fact that they moved from Arizona because they wanted to get away from the worldly temptations. So they moved away from Las Vegas and moved to Arizona, broke the family up. And then now one of the Christine's kids is working in a strip club.
I've never been to a strip club, but is it easy to? There's actually a gentleman's club right across the street from my work, and It looks like a gentleman's club. It doesn't look like a Chili's or something.
Right.
I don't know.
Well, do people walk to the cars fast as hell? Like that's how you.
Well, I only ever am there during the day, so it's not super populated during the day. But like
Yeah,
I don't even
probably.
think it opens until we almost are
Yeah.
done for the day, anyways. But yeah, it definitely doesn't look like a bar.
Well, you can always tell by the people who go in, like
Yeah.
the patrons. And most of the
And it's also called like the Crazy Horse or something, which I guess could be a bar, but it definitely sounds like a strip club too.
yeah. There's a lot of strip club vibes on that one.
Yeah.
It is. Look, if you do, you boo boo. I'm not even mad. If that's what you
Yeah.
like, that's what you like. I'm not mad at you. I'm not
Yeah.
gonna kink shame nobody, but it's just like I said, it's just funny to me. I also one of the things that I also got from that meal that I thought was very endearing was one of the last statements. It was very quick. After they finished eating, they were all sitting around laughing and talking to Peyton about working at the strip club or whatever. And Hunter had looked and said, "Okay, guys, how about we clean up dinner and we could play some games?" And
Yeah.
I'm like, this dude is like the super family man. Like Hunter, when he have kids, he's gonna be like the dad who's always playing board games with him. He's gonna be the board game master.
I know. He and Logan are just, they make sure that because because Logan doesn't like to appear on camera at all, but he was at McKelty's baby sprinkle. So it really touches my heart the way Hunter and Logan go out of their way to like connect with their siblings.
Right.
Because of course their dad is not.
Right. We got some more super chats. Let me hook these up. We have a super sticker from Tracy's Fractured History and More. Thank you so much for the super sticker. Let me give you a little something, Tracy. Appreciate you. With that super sticker. And then we have from Peach 499 super chat. Please walk me through what Robyn's kids were talking about. I think I blacked out. We have probably from the rage.
This is what 18 years of brainwashing looks like, right?
Right. We just confused about everything. You're confused about every little thing. But let me give Peach a little something. We can talk about that in a moment. Thank you so much, Peach. Just one more, and then we'll come back to what Robyn's kids were talking about, because that was actually the next thing I was going to talk about.
Yeah.
Peach. Good point. Brittany, not Brittany, down there in super chat.
Thanks,
Brittany, thank you so much. Peyton tried to hit us with I had no idea. This is a strip club? Oh my God.
So I thought this was an Applebee's, but apparently this was a strip club. Who knew?
Apparently that young lady forgot to put on her brassieres. like what? Dude, I'm gonna tell you what, the first few seconds you walk into a strip, you might be confused about the name. Okay, fine. You go into a place, Cheetah Tails, and you go in, and you're confused, you don't understand what's going on. But as soon as you see the tacky decor and the folks walking around, and coming to the stage, Alexis Legs or whatever, you know where you at. Oh, because you didn't leave.
No.
Yeah,
but I do like that the siblings were ribbing Peyton, like, "Oh, did you get a job as a dancer?"
Right.
Like, as a bouncer, like,
I'm gonna be bouncing. I know.
Yeah,
because you have no rhythm. Like you're not a dancer, but you never know. Peyton might be the one. He might be. What do you call it? Magic Mike. He might be Magic Mike.
I was gonna say, like Secret Lives of Mormon Wives. There could be some crossover there. So the next Chippendales, we could be seeing Peyton.
Apparently, they living wild out there in Utah. Like, don't sleep on Utah. They some freaks in the sheets, boy. They just keep it secret.
They make those weird soda combinations. That's for sure.
Right.
I like my soda. I'm like a purist. I like my Diet Coke plain, but all these like flavor combinations that I'm seeing on TikTok about people's like soda recipes. I'm like,
yeah, you're doing
not
too
for me.
much.
Not
You're
for me.
doing too much. Well, I mean, I guess it's like, flavor coated diabetes. Like, what do you want your diabetes called?
Yeah, it's like people are putting like coconut cream and Dr.
Right.
Pepper and like
Yeah, she's like, my soda don't have enough sugar in it. So could you put some raspberry, strawberry, mocha luwaan,
Yeah.
Like,
Gosh, my husband was just telling me that if you had one soda a day for a month, that would be 4 pounds of sugar or something like that.
damn. Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. I know it's heavy
I was
duty.
like,
Yeah.
I drink Diet Coke, so
Right. You don't have to worry about it. Yeah.
that's 4 pounds of aspartame. Thank you very much.
I'll be fine.
Yeah.
Let me give Brittany a little something. I'm gonna have to get some more thank yous. Hook
Thank
you guys
you,
up with.
guys.
Oh, we got some more from Lizzie B in the house. What's up, Lizzie B? Welcome back. $10 super chat. Janelle living in a camper. Robyn living in a 7-bedroom mansion. Unfair. Yeah. Where was the offer to help your fellow sister wife when she was struggling?
Yep.
Oh, wow. That was a
and
good
we
count.
saw like we've seen the 360 tour now of the McMansion. Like if I'm Cody, right, and I have like other households and I have a kid that's about to be living in a camper, I am going to be combining room. Like, okay, Aurora and Brianna, you guys are sharing rooms. Saul and Ari, maybe you guys are sharing rooms because Janelle and Savannah need to have a room. Yeah.
It would just be easier. And after all, it's the family's estate, right? So there's that. 1, 2, like you said, like Lizzie B said, it really hit me just because this whole time, ever since season 16, when Christine was talking about leaving, to the time she left, Janelle left, Mary left, Robyn has been boohoo crying, sobbing like a small child about how it's not fair and how she loves her sister wives and she wants those relationships all to work out and she doesn't understand why they leaving. This is why they're leaving. Because you're sitting there, she's in a camper, you're in a 7-bedroom house. She wants to come out and talk about how she could build up Coyote Pass to put herself into a house with her daughter, and you just want to sit there and talk about the trouble with the family. That is usually about you. You're the trouble with the family. So it's a short conversation. What's the problems with the family? Robyn. Okay, next subject. Like that, come on now. I know math hurts, but come on. 1 + 1 is 2 still. But let me give Lizzie B a little something back from vacay. Hopefully you had an awesome time, Lizzie B. Let me give you a little something. Then we have Ashley French, $4.99 super chat. Love you, James and Sarah. Ames, but that's okay. I'll take it. I know what you meant. I hope we watch Cody go down on screen. Yeah, I hope they do catch that on screen because at one point I was like, I hope he could just kind of slink off and feel his embarrassment all alone. But now I think that we deserve to see it.
Well, him and Robyn cannot afford because they don't have any other sources of income besides Cameo. Like, what are they going to do? They have to do the show,
right?
So
right.
They've kind of got themselves into a corner here, right? It's like this is karma is coming for them, and they can't afford to not be like publicly crucified.
Right. And they want to quit too. Like
so bad.
They want to quit.
Like if Cody could, he probably would. But honestly, like I don't know. You know what was also interesting to me in this episode? One of my takeaways is he's talking about like how he's not gonna be accountable to like his religion anymore, and it's like this dude is too narcissistic for even religion anymore. Like he doesn't even feel like God can bring him down.
Right. And certainly doesn't want to have those. in a religion, and here's the kicker. He doesn't want to be in a religion that says that men are the center of the families. Like the men are the center of the universe. He's too big for that. You know what I mean? So it says a lot.
I just found that really like, oh boy, like this is when people start getting like struck by lightning, you know, is like you are gonna get smited.
Right. This is gonna be a good time. This is gonna be fun for you. Let me give actually a little something. All right. Oh, and we just have a couple more. Eve R. $2 super chat. Thank you so much. I love how Christine's kids test her patience.
I love that too.
Yeah, right. Just come in and say wild stuff off the hook. I think half of the time they just want to see her reaction. You know what I mean? They want to see what she says. But let me give you a little something different, Eve R. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Awesome. Appreciate you. Give you a big round of applause. And the last one, Dana Dane, 499 Super Chat. You two are great. Thank you so much, Dana.
Thank you, Dana.
Appreciate you. And then we have to get back to then we just have to get back to the last comment. What was it? Peach's comment. Please walk me through what Robyn's kids were talking about. I think I blacked out. So
you and me both.
Right? Yeah. Blacked out with anger.
I know.
Like what? I felt like was that Little John? What? Okay. Because there was a point where basically what Robyn's kids were saying, they were trying to sing the song of their pity party soundtrack, where they sit there and pretend like the OG13, or more to the point, I guess the OG12, maybe even they might even be including Truly at this point now because they're so deep in the pity party that the kids have come to them and said to them directly that you're not a part of the family. You're not a real sibling. Look, here's the deal. First of all, Aurora, I think, was the one who said they should have did a better job of the parents should have did a better job of incorporating the kids into the family.
Yes.
You know who that falls on? That falls on Cody and your mother.
Yep.
Because regardless of how Christine, Mary, and Janelle took it, it's your mother's responsibility as your parent and your guardian to make sure that the environment she's placing you in is going to be a healthy environment for you. She wasn't forced to get married to Cody. This isn't one of them shotgun wedding situations where she had to marry Cody and she didn't have a choice. She was driving 5 freaking hours to go see this dude. She had him driving 5 hours to come and see her and see y'all. So if she can't figure out how to incorporate the family, all she has to do is stop taking the long distance phone calls and stop putting gas in the car. And then she's good to go. But it's on her to make sure that you guys were assimilating into the family.
I think that probably like Peyton, like when he was like 10 or 12 or whatever, however old he was when Robyn came into the family. Do I believe that maybe he was like, oh, you're not my real brother. You're not my real sister. Sure. I can 100% believe that. Do I believe that anything in recent years has gone down like that? No. But I believe it like because back in what was it, season 16, when Robyn sits her kids down and tells them that nobody gives a shit about them enough to be around them for Thanksgiving. This is the kind of stuff that Robyn beats into her kids' head over and over. We've seen the brainwashing on camera, and this is what they are led to believe. So then it's like, oh yeah, well, you have that example, right? Of when Brianna, when you were like 5 and Peyton was 10, and he said, you're not my sister.
Right. Remember how much you cried?
Yeah.
And how much that hurt your feelings?
And so now, 20 years later, you can sit here and say, literally, like they have said that to our face.
Right.
Like, okay.
And that was Oh, clutch my pearls.
Yeah.
Are you serious? But still my heart. They said it to your face.
And
I have the vapors.
they're saying it like they're defending Robyn. Like, no,
Right.
no. Like my mom is telling the truth because we know they've said it to our face.
Because they didn't want us in the family. Well, here's the thing. Again, you are more in my perspective, and you guys can let me know if I'm off base here in the comment section. But in my perspective, as a parent who is trying to blend a family together, it's on me to make sure my kids are okay. I'm
Look
not relying on nobody
David
else.
and Christine are doing it with Truly, and David has, granted, you know, David's kids are adults and he's a grandparent, you know, but like that's still blending a family. And they're doing it a whole lot better because you know why? Nobody went into the family making demands.
Right.
Robyn goes into the family making all of these demands. And it's like, that's not how you go into it. She was not cap in hand. She was like, I need equal time. I need my kids to be like everyone else's kids. Here's the bills. Who's going to pay these? That was Robyn coming into this family.
Do I just leave them on the counter or do I hand them to
like,
you?
How does this work? It's so complicated.
Right. And even with Janelle in that conversation where Robyn was talking about how do I get when she first came into the family is what we're referring to. This is in season 2, around episode 2 of season 2. She's talking about how they do the finances. And I was like, well, you know, I'm such an independent woman and I was doing everything myself, especially after my divorce. So now I don't have a job, so I don't know how my bills get paid. So do I leave them on the counter or do I hand them to Cody when he comes in the door? Like, and at the same time, Janelle is sitting there saying, well, we're trying to figure out how we're going to take care of the family that's already established. And here comes this other person with kids and more burdens that we have to place on our shoulders to figure out how we're going to do it. And we're barely making it as is. And this is also echoed in the book. Like if you read Becoming Sister Wives, it's echoed in the book. They didn't just wait to get married because production had told them they wanted to film it. They part of the reason why they waited and their courtship was so long was because Cody couldn't afford them. He couldn't afford to bring them down to Lehigh. That's why it took so long, and the courting took almost a year. They courted for almost a year. And if you courted for almost a year, my question is, how much time were you guys actually trying to blend the family? Because that would be a critical part, at least in my mind. In my mind, when you're trying to blend a family, you would want the people who are going to be associated with your family around as much as possible. So if anything, instead of Cody taking trips out to see her in St. George, he should have turned around and they should have been making trips up to Lehigh so that their family, Robyn's family, can spend a majority of time with her kids, can spend a majority of time with the other moms and the other kids so that they actually have a relationship by the time Robyn and her kids come into the family. That's my thought on the situation.
Yeah, Robyn came into this family and all she did was demand special treatment. I need more time. My kids need this time. My kid, like these are all X, Y, and Z reasons why I need to receive special treatment. But in a family where like it's literally survival of the fittest amongst these kids, right? Like the loudest squeaky wheel gets the grease. Like you're not going to get a new pair of shoes in this family unless you are being the loudest one saying I need a new pair of shoes. And that's what Hunter knew. That's what Logan knew. That's what all these kids knew. But Robyn comes into the family and says, no, my kids need like X amount of days with Cody because they're bonding. And mind you, Robyn was single for about 5 minutes before she started courting Cody. Her divorce was barely finalized. Maybe like a year. She was maybe a year before.
I don't even think it was a full year. Yeah.
So when she's like, oh, I knew how to like prioritize and budget and stuff. Like, no, because you came into the family with like $30,000 of debt.
Right. And then and you bankrupted your husband on the way out.
Right. And so I hate when people like rag on other people's like finances, like whatever, that's your business. But
Right.
like, do not come and say that like Janelle has her financial priorities messed up and that you are some sort of financial guru. Like,
Right. Right.
ma'am, be so fucking for real right now.
Right. Stop it.
Sorry.
No. It's fine. It's fine. I'm with you. I was cussing all last night too. Let me give Tiffany H a little something. Tiffany H. Uh, Sarah, Robyn's kids don't participate with the family, and that's where I was going with it too. That
Yeah.
at the end of the day, Robyn's kids, it's on them too. And this is one of the things that really bothers me about like the interpersonal relationship that Robyn claims isn't there because the family doesn't reach out to them. If you want to be a part of something, like for instance, let's say a club. I want to join a club. I've never expected when I was a kid and I went to join a club or a team, like some kind of sports team or whatever I was trying to do, activity, whether martial arts, whatever, anything I did. I didn't wait around for them to come and seek me out because I'm interested in you and just walk by stick my head in the door. I'm interested in this, close the door and walk down the hallway and expect them to chase me and come find me to involve me in their activity. I have to take the first step to try to be around them and be involved with them. And my question is, how much does Robyn's kids actually put themselves out to try to put themselves in a position so they can be with these other kids and they can start to enjoy their brothers and sisters? Because it's not enough for you to just get married, for your parents to get married, for you to claim brother and sister. That's just a title. For you to have that genuine relationship, you have to build that actual relationship. And maybe because their mom, Robyn, doesn't know how to do it either, the kids don't know how to do it. She thinks that she has sister wives because she married into a family with a guy who already had wives. But if you want the sister wife relationship, you actually have to build relationships with the people who you want to be your sister wives.
Yep.
You know what I mean?
Yep. And I'm wondering if maybe they're afraid that, because we've heard, I remember last season when we see it's kind of jumping back and forth between like Gabe talking about seeing Gabe and Savannah are talking about seeing people at school, and Brianna and Aurora are talking about seeing them at school. And Aurora is like, oh yeah, I saw Gabe and he said he loved me or whatever. These kids have a genuine affection for each other. And I'm wondering if Aurora and Brianna and Dayton don't feel like Cody might see them having a relationship with their siblings as some sort of betrayal.
Right. Absolutely does.
Yeah. If Madison is this like, she's persona non grata, like with Cody, then what would associating with someone he views as someone who is disloyal or whatever betrayed him, then they might be out on their ass too.
Right. Because we also can't forget that one, I can see him being petty enough to where if he doesn't get along with the mothers, he doesn't bother with the kids. We see that
100%, yeah.
In the throughout the series. Two, we can also cite the example of McKelty back in season 17, where Christine said, "Yeah, your father thought I wasn't that attractive." And McKelty had the audacity to say, "No, Mom, you're beautiful." And Cody sat there and was like, "Who the hell? What the?" See, that's why she's not loyal. Because
I know, like she's just part of the gossip mill. Like, are people are not allowed to have conversations anymore?
Right. Or just the fact that she didn't want to call her mom ugly. No, Mom, you're beautiful. How dare she go against me?
Like, you should go out and date and stuff. Oh, she's disloyal.
Right. She's trying to keep her mom happy. To hell with that. She's not on my team.
It's so crazy how Cody is like singing Robyn's praises in this episode about her being so loyal, and like he is only feeling loyalty to Robyn, but it's like your loyalty to Robyn has destroyed your life, dude. Like, seriously.
Right.
Look at you.
It's just the begun.
You are paranoid. You don't leave your house. You hole up in this house filled with like cruise ship art and bear figurines, crystals, and a purple palace. Like this is your safe space, really?
Right. This is where I feel secure being Robyn. Because we
And
protect
like
each other.
honestly, like in those like Instagram promos that have been put out, he's talked about how something he enjoys is just like sitting across the table from Robyn and having a conversation. Like this dude loves Robyn. So like cool, good for you, but like this has cost you literally everything.
Well, I'm glad for him. If this is what if the cost of the ride should be worth the price.
Yeah.
So if the cost of the ride was it cost you your whole family, then I hope you enjoy it. You should enjoy it. You should enjoy the hell out of your time with Robyn because it costs you everything else. But let me give Tiffany H a little something. And then we have just a couple more. We have we have another shot from Lizzie B. Backing
Thank you, Lizzie.
Thank you so much. From the get-go, the problem was that Cody didn't see Robyn straight. He didn't ask her to work, didn't want her to follow the rules the OG3 followed, always made an exception in benefit of who? Her. This is absolutely true. This is absolutely true. Let me give a little something. Yeah, because that's just how he was doing it. That's absolutely true. But you can't be jealous, Lizzie B, because she has an orange and you have an apple, and you should never compare your orange to her apple.
Right. Don't compare your trailer to my 4,000 square foot home.
Right. Exactly. How dare you?
Be glad you have a camper.
Right. He comes by and visits you when he drives through Coyote Pass, apparently. You know what I mean? When he drives past Coyote Pass, they consider that a full visit. Brittany with the 49 super chat. Thank you so much, Brittany. I appreciate it. That's awesome. And she still hasn't budgeted to pay off her debt when it was time to buy the Vegas house. Yeah, because see, what you don't understand is that she was, her budgeting powers didn't take full effect until after she secured the home in Vegas. Once she got the home in Vegas, then she really figured out how to budget, because that's when she was able to start to furnish that house with a lot of excessive trinkets and doodads and things of that nature. And by the time she got to Arizona, girl, she knew how to save money.
Mm-hmm.
I'd say yesterday she must have went to the Hogwarts School of Budgeting and learned some Harry Potter tricks. I'm
very much channeling some Real Housewives. I'm feeling Heather Gay with I want proof, screenshots, timelines, receipts. I'm feeling very Sutton when she's like, "Oh, I learned how to budget." Name them. Show us. Show us.
Whip them out. Whip the book out, because I want to see it. I want to go to that school of budgeting. I want to know how.
Show me how to stretch a dollar.
Right.
Like, because I identify with you on a bunch of stuff, like blowing money on shit I don't need. I can definitely, but you're telling me that you literally have this, this Harry Potter bag. You just stick your hand in, pull it out, and suddenly you have enough money to go around for 5 kids with no job.
Right. For years. This ain't even a weekend thing. For years.
Yeah.
Teach me. You know what I mean? That's awesome. Then we have hey, Kika Lika. What's going on? $5 super chat.
Hi,
Let me stop by to say I'm living for Sarah's doneness with all this tomfoolery. Your new sassiness is everything. Thank you, Kika Lika.
Thank you.
Let me give you a little something, Kika Lika. That's awesome.
Thank you so much.
They liking the sassiness.
These really are like villains.
Yeah. They're not even like cool villains. Like, you know what I mean? They're not like Kaiser Sose or something.
Right.
Something special. They're like the evil, like cartoon villains. Like, I put the dynamite on the bridge.
And I just feel so bad too because, I noticed, Janelle and Maddie and Caleb, they just like launched this farm, this new business. And, we just sit here and like talk shit about their dad like all day, every day. And
Mhm.
at the end of the day, even if you had and can recognize objectively that your parent is a piece of shit, it has to be so difficult to see like the world talk shit about someone you once admired. Like that has to
Right.
be so hard. And I feel really bad for all these kids.
Yeah, yeah. And especially though, like, because he's had like a tremendous, especially for the older kids who might have looked up to him and thought he was like this great dude who,
Yeah.
this is the only dad they knew.
Yeah.
And for him to fall from that lofty height of grace, like especially Janelle's kids, like the boys, they spent a lot of time with him because that's who he connected with because of the sports and stuff. And
Mhm.
then for them to turn around as they get older, they start to see how, and they start to understand the world. Let's put that in there as well. They start to understand how the world works, and they see how he's treating their mom, and he's screwing their mother over financially, and that has to affect them in some bad
Yeah.
ways.
Mhm.
But we have Steam Frog,
Thank you.
Steamed Frog 99, $10 super chat. Cody and Robyn Leach, having set up this image rehab 2 years ago, watching it now, seeing it fall utterly, and knowing there are 20 plus episodes of this
I
nonsense.
know.
Oh,
I know. We have come out the gate hot.
yeah, right. And it's only just begun.
I
Like, it's
know. We
insane.
have like 6 buckle up, you guys. We
Yeah,
are in
right.
this for the long haul.
And I think that by the time they get done, like I heard rumor that by the time they get done, they're going to catch us up kind of to the point where they are now.
Mhm.
So this could be crazy because we'll actually see if they do it that way, then we'll actually start to see how the land got paid off and
Yeah,
why the
I'm
land got
very
paid off.
interested in that. I'm very interested in that.
Yeah, so it's going to be crazy.
Mhm.
So let me get Steve Frog in the house. Oh, and then we have Christina S. Not down in our super chat. Thank you so much. Notice episode footage of OG13 playing with Robyn's kids.
Right after Aurora and Brianna were saying how like horribly they were treated.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the big finger by the production team, by the way.
I felt bad because I think Aurora and Brianna genuinely believe like what Robyn has instilled in them.
Mhm.
But it's like, yeah, you want to show them the footage. Like, girl, no, like these people
Right.
care about you.
Right. And why don't you call them? Like, and one of the things, like, I don't really talk a whole lot about Big G's Garrison, but one of the things, like, there was a point where he was talking about wanting to call Dayton and hang out with Dayton and not being able to because of the rift between him and Robyn. And so they had lost a lot of touch, and you could see that he was genuinely hurt by the proposition that he wasn't going to be able to speak to these people whom he considered to be his brothers and sisters. So he felt that loss because we also have to keep in mind, like they're basically in this family, they're basically excuse me, there are 3 batches of kids. Like you have the older
Right.
kids, which would consist of like Logan all the way down to maybe McKelty, and
Mhm.
then you have the second batch of kids, which would be like Dayton, Garrison, Gabe, Gwendolyn, Aspen. Like, so
Mhm.
they're not Aspen. Aspen's part of the older group, but
Mhm.
they're part of that second group. And
Right.
of course, you have Truly, Solomon, and Ari at the very end in the
Yeah.
third group. But that second group, they pretty much grew up with each other. And so to sit there and pretend like they were just strangers is unfair to everybody involved. It's
Yeah.
completely unfair to everybody involved.
Yep.
But let me give Christina S a little something.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. And of course, we have Susie Q in the house. $5 super chat. Robyn is actually a math genius with imagery numbers, imaginary numbers, imagery. I'm using her mindset. Robyn is actually a genius with her imaginary numbers. She imagined her budget contributions. That's true. And I got a video for that too. We're gonna watch a little clip right after this. But I 100% agree. So in my mind, apparently in her mind, she was this super like whiz with numbers as well. So go figure. And then of course we have Teresa Skinner in the house. Teresa Skinner in the house.
Thank you so
49 super chat with the super sticker. Thank you so much, Teresa. Appreciate you. Teresa's always holding us down. Thank you so much, Teresa. You're awesome. Yeah. So I guess, dang it. Okay, well, we do have some more. Hold on a second. 80% C Moss down in our super chat. How was the nanny paid? Well, we're not going to talk about the name because that's not fair to everybody else. Then we have what's this? Lizzie B in the house, $5 super chat. Jealous? Me? No, Robyn, be careful with that tree. It could be uprooted. There's a storm coming. That money tree, I think she's talking about. So that money tree is coming up out the ground. Slowly but surely. And we have Deborah Avilas with $5 super chat. Want to buy their farm t-shirt and it's sold out. Glad for that. Wow, they got a farm t-shirt.
Yeah, they launched their website yesterday, and they had some sort of glitch. I guess they were not expecting. They have t-shirts for sale.
Okay.
And I guess they weren't really expecting the type of response, and the traffic like totally caused the site to crash. So they're trying to get it sorted. I tried to buy a t-shirt yesterday too, and it didn't go through. So but what a good problem to have, right?
Right. And Dog James. We got Dog James. The first thing I thought of across my mind, and I'm petty as hell for this, don't be like James. The first thing I thought of was, Robyn's pissed because that damn sister wife closet.
Yeah.
They couldn't sell jack shit on that sister wife closet. And now here Janelle is, and she's selling out to the point where her damn computer's crashing.
Right.
So thank you for that. That gives me joy. So thank you very much, Deborah.
And you want to know why? It's because they're selling their shirts for $25, which is a completely reasonable. Shipping is like a couple bucks. Like it's totally reasonable. They're not selling Claire's jewelry for like hundreds of dollars.
Right. You can't believe how special this is. We sell high quality.
Yeah.
Claire's, Rocky BB $2 super chat. The kids saw the real Cody before the moms did. Wow.
Yeah, I would agree with that.
Yeah. That's a shame. Karen F, $10 super chat. Creepy accused Gabe and Garrison of putting the family at risk to get their pencils wet, and he blew up the entire family for exactly that.
Exactly.
Thank
you, Karen.
Right, exactly, Karen. But Cody had that high quality pencil sharpener, so it's different.
Right.
Because he's an adult and they're kids. Makes it so much better because it's special.
Yeah.
Kathy C, $5 super chat. Remember, Robyn and Cody have a lot going on in the day. She needs a nanny. Yeah, they got a lot going on. Sitting on the steps doing cameos, sitting on the steps some more, talking
your curls or whatever,
It's
and look,
natural.
I am still trying to maintain, like, my daughter has naturally curly hair and I don't. So I'm watching all the tutorials about how to. I get that maintaining curls is a process. It's an art. It's a labor of love.
Mhm.
But there's there's excess, of course, right?
Right.
Cody seems to like to do things to excess.
Well, you could always hire a nanny, and then that nanny could help the nanny get ready with the girls. So
Right. Yeah.
it's that easy. All you got to do is budget it. If you write it down on a piece of paper, apparently that's all that has to happen.
Put it in
You
your
don't
little
have to,
magic bag
right.
and whip it out.
You don't have to work extra hours. You don't have to make more money. You just write it down on a piece of paper.
Right. Yeah.
And apparently that does it. All right. And then we have Raspberry with the $5 super chat. Thank you so much. We're just jealous because we don't want to help Robyn design her plus size clothing line. Damn, that's some shade there, Raspberry. Raspberry always has some.
But this is kind of like backhanded, passive-aggressive bullshit Robyn has been doing for years, especially to Janelle, because Cody has this connection, this affection for Janelle. I think Robyn recognized Janelle as being her biggest romantic rival, and she would always do some underhanded shit like that.
And it would always be something that's cutting on her looks, on how she looked, or some physical form thing.
Exactly.
Like, oh, I need you to put together some fat girl clothes. What you think?
Because Robyn isn't particularly academic. She doesn't strike me as one to hold like an intellectual conversation. So all she has are her looks. And Janelle was the one that was Cody viewed as like his intellectual equal. They could have those like long conversations, and isn't that at the end of the day like I think that that's what Cody is kind of finding so hard to let go with Janelle, is because now he just has Robyn to talk to.
Well, because I think that Janelle also provided another, because she was the backstop financially as well. So what it's like, because I think Cody's like as deep as a puddle of spit, but when it comes down to it, I think Janelle was offering not only the intellectual insights or maybe some of the deeper propositions, the philosophical conversations he was trying to have, but she was also the one who was helping him to maintain what he had built up. So even if he was out there wildly spending, you had Janelle in the background who is making things work. And this is how it is with a lot of relationships, whether it's work relationships or even personal relationships. You could have somebody who you take for granted and you just don't realize how much they actually do until they're not doing it anymore. And I think that that's kind of where he is with Janelle. Like, he's starting to realize, like, oh shit, like, I swore we were making way more money than this. But Janelle was maintenance, and she would take from here and she would put there, and she would make sure bills would get paid, and he wouldn't have to worry about it, because to him, it was just, oh, I'll go out and I'll run my credit card up, and the bill will just magically get taken care of at the end of the month. Mm-hmm. And now that she's gone, he's left with Robyn. And like you said, he's trying to have that conversation with Robyn. Oh, I don't know how we're going to pay these bills. And she's sitting there, well, I don't know, because I got a bunch of stuff coming from Amazon and we got to figure it out. So you just dealing with two different women. Mm-hmm. Can't be replaced. But let me give a little thank you to in the house. Thank you so much, Raspberry. But we did have this before we wrap this up, because we're getting a little longer than two. But before we wrap this up, I did pull down a little clip that I wanted to talk about. And, we kind of touched on it a little bit, but I wanted to give the context to the conversation in this particular clip. Well, how come that's not working? Okay. Give a little context to the conversation in this particular clip. So let's take a look at it.
I mean, it's like we were working together for so long, and we didn't actually stop working together until, just recently, when Janelle's bringing up, that Cody and I owe her something. It's like, how do you calculate? How do you figure that out? It's so confusing.
See, now that's some bullshit.
I had to put a little something on it, but yeah, That's kind of how I felt when I was watching it. Oh yeah,
Good old Sam Jackson knows what's up.
she's landing on thick though. Like I don't know what's going on. But what did you think about like that when she was saying that? Like this was one of those moments where my mind just was like, "What the shit?" Like, what were your thoughts on this particular segment?
It's about to get real interesting because so far Janelle is really tiptoeing around this finance issue, but eventually we're gonna have to like open the books, and once we do that, Robyn, it's over.
Right. And you know what? And that's exactly where I was kind of going with it, because when I was watching it, and like between Robyn's commentary and even Cody's commentary about Janelle, like Cody has always been one to say some wild stuff about the wives, right? But now it's at a point where y'all do realize that she might actually see this. Like, what do you think is going to happen when Janelle watches Robyn basically say that she's bad with money? What do you think Janelle is going to do?
Yeah.
Like like you guys think you have power, and that's what bothers me. And maybe it's just me, but I think that what bothers me the most about the situation is that they approach it like they have all the power, and there's absolutely nothing Mary, Robyn, or Mary, Christine, and Janelle can do. And if they could do something, they wouldn't dare do it against me. And that's what annoys the hell out of me about the whole situation. Like, you think that I won't do this? Like, you know what I mean? But what are your thoughts on because yeah.
No, I completely agree. It's going to be so interesting. Like the show going forward now is just going to be miserable for Cody and Robyn. But we don't even need them on the show to like have these conversations either, right? Because they aren't exposing anything. They aren't bringing receipts. They're just lying to us.
Right.
So we can have the conversation about the money with the person that was doing the finances, which is Janelle.
And the problem is that the one thing that I will say about this is that everything Janelle, Mary, and even Christine, the things that they say have against Cody and Robyn with regard to the money has been extraordinarily consistent throughout the time that they got out. When they moved from Lehigh, they moved to Las Vegas. Janelle threw out, I cashed in my 401k so I could support the family. I guess Robyn wasn't working her magic budget then when Janelle cashed in her money to take care of Robyn's family and her kids. But, all the way throughout, when they sold the house in Vegas, I noticed that Janelle and Mary didn't run out and buy a new house. No. So that money went somewhere. Where'd the money go? Then all of a sudden you're saying that, their priorities must be jacked up. I don't know what they did with their money, but I saved my money
to go to college and things like that.
No, go ahead.
Oh, I was just gonna say, like because Janelle is just living in the lap of luxury here.
Right. And that's the whole thing too, is that even if we take into account that Janelle was sending and putting her kids through college, that would be something that she thought would be important to her. And more importantly, the whole family thought that was important for all the kids to go to college, because that was one of the things Cody was pushing. So if we have to keep in mind, or at least I know we keep it in mind. I'm not going to say we don't, but I like to just constantly remind myself and everybody else that these kids are not Janelle's kids and Christine's kids, Mary's kids, and Robyn's kids. These are Cody's kids. He's the one person who is consistent throughout the whole thing. So if his kids go to college, no matter who the mama is, he has to help pay for that. If his kids have debts and responsibilities, that's on him too. It's not just, Christine had to figure that out in her household. No, bitch, that's your household too, cuz. Right. You got to help her to figure it out. So where's your kick in at? If you're not kicking in, then there's a problem. Let me give. Oh, we got a super chat from Sarah M. $5 super chat. Maybe that's why the OG's waiting so long to take legal action. They're waiting for Cody and Robyn to run their mouths for a while.
Yeah, that's a good strategy. Like, what more can we get our hands on, Robyn? Tell us.
Right.
Because so far, I got your house.
Right.
I got your art.
Tell us what else you think. Like,
Yeah.
I think that, and the whole part about it is what makes them so weak in this particular respect. And it's again why attorneys will tell you to shut up for litigation. And technically, most attorneys will tell them that they have to get off the show. If you're trying to keep your house, you got to get off the show. Because the more you talk about it and the more it gets talked about and you don't respond or you do respond, it's going to go terribly bad.
Mhm.
And as they try to tell this story of like this rebranding story where they try to recondition their image, it's just getting worse and worse and worse. You know what I mean? Like it's just looking bad.
Yeah.
Like it's at that point where it's just looking bad. Like, we bought that house. What was it? Cody in season 17 it said or 18, we bought the house to house my children. And then now she's saying, Robyn is saying, the other person who's on the deed is saying, we bought that house for the family.
Yeah.
And it's not my house. So
No.
neither one of you are claiming the house? Really? Wow. Okay.
I'll claim the house.
Right. It's an investment for the family. Got
I'll
it.
sell it.
Got him. You know what I mean? Dummy. So, yeah. But let me give you a little something. Thank you so much for the super chat and the comment, because I always love the comment. Thank you so much. Yeah, but I mean, this whole episode, overall, what was your, as we wrap this up, because I don't want to stretch it out too long because this is crazy.
Oh
But
my God.
as
Great episode, great season. I cannot wait to see like this. We have put in so much time. This is the payoff for us, is like to see the OG3 get theirs. I know that people think that this getting a release is like less interesting, but I'm actually extremely interested in the religious aspect, because hearing what Cody has to say now about his faith, it's like, tell me more about that. Let's open the books. Let's do some accounting. Talk to me about the religion, because we haven't touched on that in a while. Cody thinks like he's gotten too big for religion, and that's like, whoa, dude, you need to check your ego like big time.
Right. Because I think that even with the religion aspect, I think he might have because quite as this kept. I think that the elders at the AUB were looking at this. The leadership was looking at this, and they were watching Sister Wives unfold, and they might have started to realize a few years ago, like, we are down bad. Like, this is not good. This is making us look terrible. Like, so Cody, you need to come off the show. And of course, anybody who comes between Cody and his money, you know, that's like coming between a dog and his bone. Like, it's just gonna end badly. So I think that's kind of where he's directly started to revolt against the leadership of the AUB, because they wanted to pull him off, because this does look bad for polygamists. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like in the beginning, it was like, oh, okay, you know, maybe polygamy is not so bad. But now it's like, what the hell? Who the hell want to do this? It's like, you know, it's just bad times. Oh, we have a super chat from E Bravo Valencia.
Thank you.
Now, super chat, great show tonight. Keep it up. We shall try.
Thank you guys. Tonight was awesome. Thank you everyone for supporting, being active in the chat, and thank you to our moderators.
Right? BKK, Lizzie B back in the house.
Yeah.
Who else did we have?
BCat. I think I saw Kendra.
Okay, Lizzie B in the crib, tearing it up. Just make sure we got everybody. And I think that's it. Okay. And if we forgot you, I apologize. Just send me a note or a letter, and I'll definitely hit you up in the first part of our next live. And guess what, guys? I got to give E Bravo Valencia a big super chat. And this is for every
Tiffany H.
Tiffany H. Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
Tiffany H. And this is for Tiffany H and everybody else in the chat, because you guys keep it live, you keep it fun, you keep it fresh, and more importantly, you're respectful of each other and the chat and our respective channels, and that goes a long way for us, because it wouldn't be as much fun. Both Sarah and I tried, like we talked about earlier on, we tried to have like just a conversation between the two of us where we did the live and nobody was watching. It's not as much fun.
No.
So
you know what though? It still was fun because I love talking to you, James. But when I was like, oh man, are we stale tonight? Because people are not picking up what we're putting down. No one's responding to us.
Nobody's saying anything. Like that's
what
one
I
of the
said, I thought I said something pretty funny. Nobody laughed.
Right. That's one of them dreams where you walk into the classroom, you don't have no clothes on. Like that's one of them type dreams. Like, ooh, this is the uncomfortable and breezy. But let me give everybody a little clap. Yeah, thank you so much. Do you have anything coming up? Anything special we should be looking for this week?
We're going to be talking all of Robyn's audacity tomorrow on my channel. Just so much.
Right. And we have so much, like, and the crazy part is we barely scratched the surface as far as this particular episode is concerned. So
I know.
Like, I'm going to have videos coming up. I'm sure Sarah is going to be having a ton of videos coming up. So like I said, make sure you subscribe to both channels, hit that like button. Hit the like for this video, but make sure you hit that bell so you get notified when we drop new videos, because I'm telling you, it's going to be off the chain. Like
this was such a good episode. It was jam-packed.
Right. And this is like the first time, like what made me excited about this episode is that this is the first time that we're actually starting to get more information about how the family finances actually worked. And so I'm very excited to talk about that part of it.
Yeah.
So we shall see. It's gonna be a good time. Big good time. But thank you guys all for coming and hanging out. Sarah, thank you for coming in, bring your humor, your fun, your wisdom, and your perspective onto this foolishness.
Good time.
Yeah, making me feel like I'm not crazy. I appreciate everybody who joins me. Like even right after the show, we kind of do the decompression hour where we just talk about the stuff so that we can sleep at night.
I don't think I would be safe to be around right after the show. I'm like firing all cylinders. Like I needed to take a mo. So I commend you for your ability to get it together.
Right. Like this is insane. Who does this?
Because I am just like furiously like, oh, I can't believe son of a
right. Who raised these people? You know?
Oh my God.
It's crazy. It is crazy.
Yeah.
But yeah, I appreciate you guys. Thank you so much.
Thank you, everyone.
Tip your bartenders and your waitresses on the way out. Thanks so much for hanging out with us. We appreciate you.
Bye.
Have a great night, guys. And that is